Hey, what's good, y'all? It's Thawahgabar for Black Authentic Truth. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for supporting me. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm a small channel. I'm trying to grow like everyone else. Without further ado, I want to get into the story about discrimination by Navy Federal Credit Union. Now, Navy Federal Credit Union services people who are currently in the Navy and veterans. Now, there's a class action lawsuit against Navy Federal for discrimination. Now, this lawsuit names Black people and Latinos, and the numbers don't lie. I'm sorry to tell y'all. Now, when applying for a mortgage loan, home mortgage loan, Black people were approved 48% of the time versus white people being approved 75% of the time. So clearly, there's a big gap. There's a large disparity right there, and it's not equal. Now, these are minorities with good credit, served in the military, no debt, savings, all of that, and they got denied. And the disparity is something that if people wasn't checking behind the scenes, this would go on unchecked. Why am I bringing this out? Well, because in history, we know this has happened all the time. This is what you call redlining, whereas the government basically pointed out or outlined the areas where Black people stayed in the neighborhood, and they basically said to lenders, these are risky places to invest in. These neighborhoods start to go downhill. The roads are not fixed, the infrastructure is not repaired or maintained, and people are not developing in the city, which brings in money and stimulates the economy. And therefore, you have a clear difference between where Black people stay and white folks stay. Now, these areas where Black people stay have traditionally been called ghettos. And these things, like I say a lot of times, is that, poverty is a created condition. People don't wake up and want to be in poverty. People don't want to work or want to do better for themselves and want to destroy their neighborhoods. Poverty or economic poverty, unemployment, all of these things come into a play of how a community maintains itself. Now you have Black and Latino land developers that are trying to get into the game, and all they hear is excuses when it comes to the capital, to the land grants that the government gives out to developers. They said 97% of the monies go to white developers. Now, if these Black and Latino developers, if given the opportunity, they would develop in poor communities. That would actually stimulate the economy. Now they hit roadblocks because they are unable to raise the funds or the capital to get the ball rolling. Now, when it comes to Black and brown communities, we make far less in our households than the white community. So when it comes to, white families, they're able to find a family member that could bring money to the table to invest. And so this is another roadblock in developing Black communities, poorer communities that we see. Black people make up 6% of all real estate agents. And so they also face discrimination, poor opportunities, and lower pay. I'm pretty sure some of y'all remember the story with the sister who actually, did a lot of improvements to her home. And then when she got it appraised, they appraised it for a low value. Then she got like a white friend, I believe, to actually pose as the owner of the home. And on the reappraisal, it was appraised for a lot more. So when you see all of the things combined that I just talked about, you see there's a reason why, it's hard for a Black family to get into a home, or at least their dream home. It's hard for Black communities to be developed. And also this story with Navy Federal demonstrates that this thing still goes on. And all of these factors play a part into how a community looks, where people stay and where people don't stay, and what people can afford. And it's almost like we have to be checked. They have to have checks and balances to keep us out of spaces, well, to keep us out of neighborhoods. And if we was to go unchecked and everything was equal, we would be everywhere because we excel and we meet all of the qualifications to get into these spaces. Now, what you hear a lot is that Black people make excuses. We're playing the victim card. We're doing this, we're doing that. We're not working hard enough. So to the white supremacists, to the naysayers, what do you say about these Black and brown people that did everything right? For one, they served their country. They had zero debt, excellent credit, thousands of dollars in savings, damn near better than a lot of white families, but they were denied. What do you say to that? They did everything right, in order to get your dream home, in order to make it. So let me know what y'all think about this video. Do I got a point about discrimination? I think I do. Give me your thoughts and your opinions. And with that, this is Black Authentic Truth.